I want you to imagine a moment where the world outside the bedroom door completely ceases to exist, and the only reality that matters is the heat between your skin and his, because we are not just talking about the physical act. Here we are talking about a moment of absolute psychological surrender. Look, I talk to thousands of women every single month, and the number one complaint isn't that they aren't having enough fun in the bedroom. It is that the connection feels fleeting, like he is there physically, but mentally he is checking his watch or thinking about work or worrying about his performance. You want to know how to change that dynamic instantly. You want to know how to take a regular Friday night and turn it into a memory that is seared into his brain for the next decade. It comes down to one specific energetic shift that I like to call leg lock finish. Now, before you giggle or roll your eyes thinking I am about to turn into a wrestling coach, let me explain what I mean, because this is the difference between having a moment and owning a moment. Most people treat the end of intimacy like a race to the finish line, where everyone is just sprinting toward their own release, and once the fireworks happen, everyone kind of drifts apart and reaches for their phones. That is a tragedy. That is a wasted opportunity to anchor yourself deep in his subconscious. The leg lock finish is about trapping him deep in the experience, not just with your body, but with your energy, until he physically shakes from the intensity of being that seen and that held. Here is the thing about men that society rarely tells you. We walk around all day wearing armor. We have to be the provider, the protector, the stoic one, the guy who has it all figured out. And we are terrified of losing control, because losing control means weakness. But in the bedroom, that script gets flipped. The deepest desire of a man is to find a woman strong enough and confident enough to create a container where he can completely let go and lose control safely. When you wrap him up, when you engage the leg lock, you are essentially creating a physical boundary that says you are not going anywhere, and I have got you. It is a primal signal. You are using your lower body to pull him into your center, to eliminate the space between your hips and to restrict his movement just enough that he has to focus entirely on the sensation of you. You are taking away his option to pull back. You are taking away his option to disassociate. You are forcing him to be right there in the pocket with you. Think about the psychology of the hug. When you hug someone politely, you lean in with your shoulders and keep your hips back, because hips imply intimacy. But when you really love someone, you press your whole body against them and you squeeze. The leg lock is that bear hug translated into the horizontal tango. It is you saying, I want all of you right here, right now. Now, why does this make him shake? It is not just the physical friction, though. Let's be honest, that is a massive bonus. It is the claustrophobia of pleasure. It is the feeling that he is being enveloped by your desire. When you wrap your legs around his lower back or hook your ankles behind him, you are anchoring him into the deepest part of the connection. You are stabilizing the rhythm. You are telling him without saying a single word that you are not just a passenger. On this ride, you are the co-pilot, and you are steering the ship into the storm. A lot of women are afraid to be that assertive because they think it might be too aggressive, or they worry about being too heavy, or they think he wants to do all the work. Let me tell you something, ladies, there is nothing sexier to a man than a woman who knows what she wants and takes it. When you lock him in, you are signaling high value. You are signaling that you are comfortable in your own skin and you are demanding his full attention. It creates a feedback loop of intensity. He feels you pulling him closer, so he pushes in deeper. He feels your breath on his neck because you have closed the distance, so his heart rate spikes. He looks into your eyes and sees that you are right there with him, and that creates a chemical flood of dopamine and oxytocin that is stronger than any physical sensation alone. The shake that happens, that involuntary tremor in his muscles, or that gasp for air that isn't just physical exhaustion, that is his nervous system resetting. That is him hitting a level of vulnerability that creates a bond. You have to understand that men often equate intimacy with performance. We are worried about doing a good job. We are worried about whether you are enjoying it. We are worried about how long it lasts. When you engage the leg lock, you are effectively taking the wheel and saying, stop thinking and just feel. You are grounding him. You are physically stopping him from rushing the process. You are forcing him to slow down and grind into the friction. And that build-up is what leads to the earth-shattering finish. It is about compression. Think about a diamond. A diamond is just coal that did well under pressure. You want to be the pressure. You want to be the one squeezing the coal until it turns into something brilliant. And the beauty of this technique is that it works regardless of your size or your shape or your fitness level, because it is not about muscle. It is about leverage and intention. It is about how you angle your hips to meet his. It is about how you use your heels to dig in and pull him closer. It is about the arch of your back that invites him in deeper. It is a full body conversation where you are doing all the talking without opening your mouth. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Matthew, what if he feels trapped in a bad way? Trust me, he won't. Unless you are actually cutting off his circulation, which please do not do, he is going to feel trapped in the best possible way. He is going to feel wanted. There is a massive difference between being trapped in a cage and being wrapped in a blanket. You are the blanket. You are the warm, safe electric place where he can finally put down his armor and just be a creature. That is the shaking. The shaking is the armor falling off. The shaking is the realization that this feels better than anything he had ever felt, because it is real and it is raw and it is happening right now. And you need to be ready for it. You need to be ready to hold that space, because when a man shakes like that, when he truly lets go, he's going to be incredibly open to you in the moments that follow. But we will get to the aftermath later. Right now, we need to talk about the setup, because you can't just throw your legs up and hope for the best. You have to build the tension. You have to earn the lark. It starts way before you even get to the bedroom. It starts with the way you look at him across the dinner table. It starts with the little touches on his arm. It starts with the whisper in his ear. You are priming the pump. You are letting him know that tonight isn't just going to be the usual routine. Tonight is going to be an event. And when you finally get horizontal, you don't go for the lark immediately. You tease it. You graze his sides with your knees. You let your legs brush against his. You let him feel the potential of the trap before you spring it. It is the anticipation that drives him crazy. He knows what you are capable of, and he is waiting for you to do it. And when you finally do, when you finally wrap him up and pull him in, it is like the beat dropping in his favorite song. It is the release of all that built up tension. And suddenly he is not thinking about his boss or his bills or his football team. He is thinking about you and only you. He is thinking about how soft your skin is and how strong your grip is and how he never wants to leave this position. That is the power you have. That is the power of the leg lock. It is not a move. It is a mindset. It is a declaration of ownership. It is you saying, this is my man and this is my moment, and I'm going to milk every single drop of pleasure out of it for both of us. And the beautiful thing is that when you focus on his pleasure in this way, when you focus on trapping him deep until he shakes, you are automatically guaranteeing your own satisfaction, because the anatomy of the position, the way it aligns, your bodies is designed for maximum contact and maximum sensation. It is a win-win situation, but you have to be willing to go there. You have to be willing to be that vulnerable and that powerful at the same time. Now that we have established the psychology behind why he needs this, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the execution, because the devil is always in the details, and I want you to feel like an absolute goddess of technique when you are in the heat of the moment. The leg lock isn't just about clamping down and holding on for dear life. It is a dynamic movement. It is a living, breathing thing. Picture the scene. You are in the flow, things are heating up, the rhythm is establishing itself. This is usually the point where most people go on autopilot. Do not go on autopilot. This is your moment to take the wheel. The first thing you need to do is sync your breathing with his. I know it sounds like yoga class, but trust me on this. When you breathe in time with him, you create a feedback loop. He hears your breath, he feels your chest rise and fall against his, and his body naturally tries to match that pace. Once you are synced, you make your move. You don't just lift your legs, you slide them up his body. You want friction. You want him to feel the satin of your skin against the rougher texture of his. You bring your knees up high, higher than you think, aiming for his shoulders or as high up his ribs as you can manage comfortably. This creates a steep angle. Why does the angle matter? Because physics. By tilting your pelvis up and wrapping high, you are deepening the point of contact. You are changing the internal geometry to hit all the right spots for both of you. And then comes the lock. You cross your ankles. You hook your feet. You engage your inner thigh muscles. This is the squeeze, but it's not a constant vise grip. It's a pulse. You squeeze on the inward motion. You relax slightly on the pullback. You become the tide. You are working with his momentum, not fighting against it. And here is the secret sauce that nobody talks about, the lower back pull. While your legs are doing the work up high or around his waist, depending on the position, your hands should be active. Do not leave your arms flopping around like a fish. Dig your fingers into his hair or scratch lightly down his back or grab his glutes and pull him in. You want to create a sensation of being attacked from all sides, but with love. You are overwhelming his sensory input. He has sensation on his back from your hand, sensation on his sides, from your legs, sensation on his front from the friction. His brain literally cannot process anything else except you. This is how you get him to that shaking point. The shake happens when the nervous system is overloaded with pleasure signals. It is a short circuit, and you are the electrician causing the spark. Now let's talk about the gaze. While you have him trapped deep, while you are pulsing your legs and pulling him in, you need to look at him. I mean, really look at him. Not at the ceiling, not at the headboard, into his eyes. If he has his eyes closed, whisper his name to get him to open them. Why? Because when he opens his eyes and sees you looking at him with that mixture of lust and adoration and control, it hits him in the gut. It makes it personal. It reminds him that this isn't just a physical function, is an emotional exchange. That eye contact combined with the physical restriction of the leg lock is a potent cocktail. He feels exposed, he feels seen. And because he physically cannot pull away thanks to your legs, he has to stay in that vulnerability. He has to endure the intensity of your gaze. That is what breaks him. That is what makes him shake. He is surrendering to your power. And ladies, I want you to enjoy that power. I want you to feel how strong you are. You are literally holding a grown man in the palm of your hand, or rather the crook of your legs. You are controlling the depth. You are controlling the pace. If he is moving too fast, you squeeze harder and slow him down. If he is moving too slow, you use your heels to drag him closer and speed him up. You are the conductor of the orchestra, and do not be afraid to use your voice. Tell him what you are doing. Say things like, I have got you, or you aren't going anywhere, or I want you deep. The auditory cues reinforce the physical reality. It tells his brain, yes, you are trapped, and yes, you like it. It taps into that primal hunter-gatherer brain where being captured was dangerous. But here, you are flipping the script and making being captured the most pleasurable thing on earth. And let's address the shake itself. When you feel him start to tremble, when you feel that vibration running through his body, that is not the time to back off. That is the time to double down. That is the crescendo. He is right on the edge. He is fighting the urge to let go because it is intense. Help him over the edge. Squeeze tighter, arch your back more. Moan into his mouth. Give him permission to fall apart, because that is what he is waiting for. He is waiting for permission to stop being the strong stoic man and just be a creature of pure sensation. When you give him that permission, when you hold him through that shake, you are creating a bond that is stronger than any dinner date or movie night. You are creating a biochemical dependency. He is going to associate that feeling of total release with you and only you. You become his drug. You become the only place where he can get that fix. And that is dangerous territory in the best possible way. That is how you create obsession. That is how you make sure that when he is at work on a Tuesday afternoon, his mind drifts back to Saturday night and he gets a little shiver just thinking about it. You are planting a flag in his psyche. And the beautiful thing about the leg lock finish is that it is adaptable. You can do it in the standard missionary. You can do it on the edge of the bed. You can do it on the sofa. The principle remains the same. Wrap him up, pull him in, eliminate the space, overload the senses, trap him deep until he shakes. It is a philosophy of intimacy that says we are not two separate people. Doing a thing, we are one knotted entity experiencing a peak. And do not worry if you don't get the shake the first time. Like any skill, it takes practice. It takes learning his body and learning your own leverage point. Maybe your legs are short and you need to lock around his waist instead of his back. Maybe he is a big guy and you need to just cross your ankles and use your heels. Calibrate, adjust, experiment. The effort itself is sexy. The fact that you are trying to consume him is sexy. He will appreciate the enthusiasm even if the technique isn't perfect yet. But keep working at it. Keep refining that squeeze. Keep finding that rhythm where you are pulsing with him. Because when you hit that sweet spot, when the stars align and the friction is right and the emotion is high, and you lock him down and he starts to shake, it is the most empowering feeling in the world. You will feel like a queen. You will feel like you have conquered him. And in a way, you've conquered his defenses, you've conquered his armor, you have stripped him down to his rawest self. And that is a gift. That is a gift you give to him, and a gift you give to yourself. So you have wrapped him up, you have squeezed, you have pulled him deep, and you have felt him shake and shudder in your arms as he crosses the finish line. The fireworks have gone off. The main event has reached its spectacular conclusion. Now what? This is the part that 99% of women get wrong, and it is where you can separate yourself from every other experience he's ever had. Do not just unravel and roll over. Do not immediately reach for the blanket or the water or your phone. The leg lock finish isn't just about the climax, it is about the calm down. This is the afterglow. This is where the cement dries. You keep him locked. You hear me. You keep those legs wrapped around him even after the motion has stopped. You hold him in that space while his heart rate comes down. Why? Because he is at his most vulnerable right now. The chemicals are flooding his brain. He is floating. If you let go immediately, the cold air hits him and reality comes rushing back in. He starts thinking about the mess or the time or the next thing. But if you hold him, if you keep him trapped in your warmth, you extend the high. You let him marinate in the oxytocin. You are subconsciously telling him that you didn't just want his body, you wanted him. You are validating him. You are saying, I am still here and I am not in a rush to get away from you. This is the cuddle phase, but it is the turbocharged version. You stroke his hair. You kiss his sweaty forehead. You let him feel the weight of your legs on him as a comforting blanket, not a cage. This is when he will say things he usually wouldn't say. This is when he will confess feeling. This is when he will look at you and think, I love this woman. The shake might be over, but the vibration is still there. You can feel his heart pounding against your chest. Sync with it again. Be the calm after the storm. And slowly, painfully slowly, you can start to loosen the grip. You can let your legs slide down his back, but keep them touching his skin. Trace the line of his spine with your toes. Make the disengagement as sensual as the engagement. It is a transition, not an ejection. You are transitioning from lover to nurturer. You are showing him that you can handle both his beast mode and his baby mode. And that duality is addictive. Men are desperate for a woman who can handle their intensity and then soothe their vulnerability. The leg lock allows you to do both seamlessly. You handle the intensity by trapping him and meeting his force with your own, and now you are handling the vulnerability by holding him while he puts his pieces back together. It creates a memory anchor. The next time he sees your legs in a pair of jeans or a skirt, his brain is going to flash back to the feeling of them wrapped around his ribs. He is going to get a Pavlovian response. He is going to remember the pressure and the heat and the shake. You are literally rewiring his associations with you. You are becoming a source of peak experience. And think about what this does for your confidence, knowing that you have this tool in your arsenal. Knowing that you can take a regular Tuesday night and turn it into a soul-shaking event just by changing your body language and your intention. It stops you from being needy. It stops you from worrying if he likes you. Because you know what you are bringing to the table. You are bringing the fire. You are bringing the depth. You are bringing the leg lock. You are no longer asking for crumbs of affection. You are the one baking the whole damn cake and feeding it to him. That shifts the power dynamic in the relationship. When you know you can rock his world like that, you walk taller. You smile differently. You have a secret. And he knows you have a secret. He looks at you and sees the woman who made him shake. And that commands respect. It commands adoration. So I want you to make a pact with yourself. The next time things get spicy, do not be passive. Do not be a spectator in your own bedroom. Be the gladiator. Enter the arena with a plan. Wait for the rhythm to build. Wait for the heat to rise. And then when the moment is right, wrap him up. Lock it in, pull him deep, look him in the eye, and do not let go until he shakes. And even then, hold on a little longer, because that is where the magic is. That is where the love is. That is where you go from being a girlfriend to being the woman he cannot live without. It is simple mechanics applied with master psychology. It is the leg lock finish. Go out there and use it. Trap him, shake him, love him. And watch how quickly he becomes addicted to the way you make him feel. You have got this. Now go make some memories.